the main, let's say, housekeeping rules. So with that, we are going to agenda, and we have our two main speakers present here. You can see them, Abel and Levon. Thanks for joining and presenting these nice topics today. One is Microsoft programs for startups, but not only about that, we will try to get you a bit more of what Microsoft can offer for all the companies that are creating their own solutions. What is the Azure Marketplace, how you can position, what is the partnership with Microsoft. So it's a bit of a broader story, and we will give you the links to the Microsoft for Startups program that might be the, let's say, of the most immediate interest for you. Abel is our partner development advisor for startups and ISVs, so definitely you are in great hands here. And then, yes, he does speak Russian. Don't let his name maybe fool you. And our dear PTS, or what we call in Microsoft Partner Technology Strategist, Levon, he will give you the introduction of Azure for Azure OpenAI on Azure, sorry. And we set like 45 minutes for all the speakers together with Q&A, but to be on a safe side, we also allow ourselves 2 hours, so feel free to ask as many questions as you want. I will be facilitating the chat as well, so we will be monitoring the questions. I'm Ana Curlic from my end. Just wanted to say hi as well. And today we have Filip Rehorik, who is the partner developer manager as well for the ISV companies. Hi, Filip. So just here as well to meet you. And I believe we will have Sergey in certain point of time. He won't be able to join us for the whole time, but Sergey is country manager of Microsoft Kazakhstan. So just for you as well to have our names, and feel free to connect on LinkedIn and here as well. Somebody asking on the questions. Yes, you can ask the question in Russian. Again, if you prefer Russian presentation, we can also proceed in Russian.
Да, ребята, если есть потребность такая, мы можем как бы вебинар на русском провести. То есть, как вы считаете, если там большинство хотят на русском, то, мне кажется, можем на русском провести. I think everyone is okay with English, and
okay.
You can just ask questions in Russian, so that will be okay. Yeah.
Great. So with that, Abel will proceed
My
with
turn.
For today. Yeah.
Здравствуйте. Hi, everybody. My name is Abel Iacovides. Anna is right. Don't be fooled by the name. I do speak Russian. Maybe not as great as Levon and the rest of you, but having spent some time, Russian-speaking partner, child who's Russian-speaking, I think I can answer some questions. But yes, so my role is as a partner development advisor for Hungary and the CIS region. And I'm here to talk to you about the programs. But I think the first slide, I think, Anna, if you can just press, or do I have control? Sorry, just no, brilliant. So this is, we try to encapsulate in one sort of image and show you the macro plan that we have when we're cooperating with startups. Because when we were thinking as Microsoft, what do we want to provide? What is the great trophy, right? The reward that we can provide our partners is access to our clients. Because reality, still to this day, that the majority of enterprise and clients are our partners and clients as well. So we realize, obviously, any startup, any ISV, what would they like to achieve is having access to these clients for their opportunity to grow. So we started working backwards in a way, and we created in a way these three pillars, one being Microsoft Marketplace, then ISV Success Program, and Founders Hub. But there is a reason why there's that staircase there, because we created a full journey from literally an idea all the way to cooperating with clients via Microsoft Marketplace. And this is what I want to talk to you about today, because the first program I want to talk about, and please don't change slides yet, just a minute, is Founders Hub, Microsoft for Startups Founders Hub. and that is a startup-focused program. That's where and we'll go in a second into more detail, but that is where you, with an idea or an MVP, can join, get access to a load of benefit, a lot of support as well from Microsoft to help build your startup. But then, of course, after some point, that program ends. And that's where the ISV Success Program comes in, because please imagine it as a transition program to help startups who are graduating from our Founders Hub to be able to easily convert and enter and publish their solution on our Microsoft Marketplace. So that is the purpose of the ISV Success Program. It is to help graduated startups with an ISV solution, so a SaaS, B2B SaaS solution, to provide the structure, to provide the guiding, in a way, a guiding hand, and of course with benefits and tools to help transition and publish the solution on Microsoft Marketplace. And that's where, in a way, the trophy comes in. It's Microsoft Marketplace. This is our own digital sales channel for products and services. But I really want to emphasize here that it is a sales channel in its structure and reality. But the greatest, where we see from experience, where we see the greatest benefit of the Microsoft Marketplace is actually as in its function as a distribution and procurement channel, where you can really access and provide your solution to clients globally. You can maybe have your own sales team can convert let's call it an international client in Brazil or Japan, and purely because of your solution being on Microsoft Marketplace, the client, and again, the client can usually purchase that solution very, very easily because of the Microsoft Marketplace. There's no need for difficulty. We'll go into that in more detail. So please imagine it as, in a way, a staircase to access that trophy, which is clients. And there's two more things before we move on, which I think are very important. There is a reason why there's a staircase after the trophy, because publishing a transactable app on Microsoft Marketplace is the beginning of a whole different journey of support benefits. So we just wanted to focus, though, on the beginning, on these first few key steps for you, but there is a continuing journey afterwards, which I will briefly mention. And the final thing I want to say is, of course, the arrows symbolize growth, but there is a reason why there's three. We like symbolism as well, maybe in this slide, but that is because the programs are there for any startup or any business who fits the criteria. That is open to all as long as you fit the criteria. The difference is the internal support you receive from Microsoft. And that's regarding myself as a partner development advisor. We have a strategic recruit who is much more focused on partners who are showing commitment, growth opportunity within Microsoft, and we have the dedicated support. And then, of course, we have our managed partner list, who is a Microsoft colleague whose purpose is to really manage an account manager and help you grow and access clients. So you need to imagine it as two parallel streams. One is being the programs, which, as I said, is open to anybody who fits the criteria, anybody as long as they fit the criteria. But the difference is where the commitment, where the qualitative element comes in is we always prioritize business and startups who want to grow with us as much as possible, and that's where the internal support comes in. So I hope this slide really shows the full journey from zero to the trophy, to understand the multiple layers of effort, not only the programs, as I said, the internal support from Microsoft teams, and of course, the little thing at the end, that the stairwell continues after publishing a transactable app on Microsoft Marketplace. I will give a pause here. I see I know you're monitoring the question, so if there's any question that I need to answer, just please let me know.
I can take it basically. Okay. Yes, and then Levon also answered, but yeah, okay. Don't worry, I will interrupt you.
Let me know. Okay, so let's dive first into Microsoft for Startups Founders Hub. So as I mentioned, just a reminder, this is our startup focused program, which we call Founders Hub. Next slide, please. So let's start with the first most important. This is a question we always get. How is the journey, how is the program structured? And this is what I mentioned earlier, that as you can join and apply and be accepted into the Founders Hub program, even if you just have an idea. The whole program, if you see with the ideate, the develop, the growth, and the scale phase, are in a way the four, very streamlined, of course, but the four key pillars to the growth of the life cycle of a startup, right? When you have the idea, you develop it into an MVP, you start growing, and then, of course, the scalability. So we wanted to emulate that. With the structure of this program. So to again emphasize, even with an idea, you can apply to the program. Even with your MVP stage, you can apply your goal. So it's not, you don't have to, this is what I wanted to really emphasize. It's not only open to those with an idea. You can join even when you're scaling or you're growing and developing. And the benefits, of course, Azure cloud benefits being the key topic and key, in a way, most important, at least in terms of support, is Azure. And here we have 4 levels you can see. So even with an idea, we provide $1,000 worth of Azure benefits. And when you get your MVP, you get an additional 4, so reaching 5, then 25 when you're growing, starting to gather some clients. And when you're scaling, it reaches up to $150,000 worth of Azure credits. But even though this is a key tangible benefit, it's not everything. This is purely one part of what our support structure. And this is where the next slide comes in. But okay, so of course with Azure we have, as I mentioned, up to 150,000 over 4 years, because 4 years, I think, just worth mentioning that every year. So an idea, you have a year to develop your solution. At the development stage, you have another year, growth another year. So it really is a long-term support program that we have here for startups. But it's not only Azure. We wanted to provide a full comprehensive set of solutions and benefits to essentially run a business, right? To grow, run a business. And that's where you have, productivity tools such as Visual Studio Enterprise, GitHub Enterprise, multiple seats. Right after the meeting, we will send out maybe in more detail, but everything is you can find this on our website. But multiple seats per year as well on GitHub, Visual Studio, Microsoft 365, including Teams, of course. Again, multiple seats provided there. Our Power Platforms, our Dynamics, and of course, we do work with trusted partners. OpenAI being, of course, everybody I assume is aware of it, but now being the very, very successful partner of ours. We even within Founders Hub, you're allowed $2,500 worth of OpenAI credits, but it's not, and these are not all our partners, by the way. I just really want to emphasize that. OpenAI, Bubble, Swipe, LinkedIn, of course, Miro, you have Ansarada, so a load of other partners where you get access to support, benefits, credits within there. For instance, LinkedIn, you get Sales Navigator license for a few months, for 3 months, you get credits for ads. So a really comprehensive support structure in terms of productivity tools to be able to run your business. And then the next slide, please, Anna. But, and I think this is not all, the cherry on the cake, right, is the program is also a community in its own right. We have events and trainings, right, dedicated, targeted for startups. And we also provide a mentor network within Microsoft as well to help you, whether you need some expertise in a dedicated field, we can always find mentors to help you with that angle. But I think there is one more slide, if I'm not mistaken, that I think is really important. So that's my mistake. I should have put that slide in. I apologize. But there is one really important element here. So we have the events and training, we have the mentors, we have the productivity tools, we have the Azure credits. However, you're not going to be left alone within this program. And what do I mean by that? That after the second stage, you are going to have assigned to you in a way your own dedicated customer success manager, in a way a technical account manager who is there for you to help you resolve any technical issues you have with your solution. And I think that's really, really important to emphasize here, to mention that it's not, just you're not on your own. Essentially, you will have support not only from a business growth opportunity, discussions with myself, let's say, but also from a technical point of view, dedicated support within Founders Hub. And of course, we have Levon as well, even more expertise in terms of technical topics. So really, we fully cover your questions, any issues you may have. So I just wanted to finalize that with Founders Hub. So as startups exit in a way, or we call it graduation from Founders Hub, what is the next stage? And if you remember in the staircase, the next transition program is the ISV Success Program. And that's where we come to the next slide. You can skip to Anna, we can go straight into it. Because what is the ISV Success Program? As I mentioned, it is a transition program. It's to help graduating startups, or even, and now this is where we need to change terminology, ISVs, so independent software vendors, so SaaS solution providing companies, right? Where we support them across their own journey. So developing, publishing, and growing the sales of your application, which is built, of course, on Microsoft Cloud. And the transition here is, of course, what is the ultimate aim? To get, and that's where it's the second point there, which is publishing the application, because that's how you can access clients. That's where you can generate sales. But of course, there's that step 0 there, which is developing applications, because we do provide benefits to GitHub credits to be able to, of course, continue building, optimizing, and integrating your solution with Microsoft Cloud platforms. Then, of course, reaching publication readiness to publish on our Microsoft App Stores Marketplace, which I'll go into a bit more detail later, where then you can access, of course, clients, grow your sales with your GTM strategies, and of course, this is a little bit mentioning the top of that staircase, is where we have rewarding applications. So the more you transact with the marketplace, the more benefits come back to you, but we'll touch upon that as well. So really just imagine it very simply that the ISV Success Program, I think you can go one more, Anna. Maybe I covered it. Yeah, this is a perfect slide. So just to finish off the previous one, it's, again, always remember it's a transition to help just transition, build your solution with Microsoft Cloud, on Microsoft Cloud, publish it on Microsoft Marketplace. And there's just some use cases here you can see. So if you're building a new app, right, that's not yet in market, we have that design and dev support to help you. It's integration, whether it's built on Azure or not, we have that support. Migration replication, again, if it's not on Microsoft Cloud, we can help you transition and migrate to Azure. And I think that I saw a question, but again, from hosting or on premises. I think that might have been a question. Maybe I misunderstood it. But yes, either, not just from hosting, but of course on premises as well. And finally, modernizing your solution, which is of course already built on Azure. So I think here are just some examples and use cases by which, by which we provide support, where you via the ISV Success Program. And of course, you see there underlying all of this is publishing on our commercial marketplace. Next slide, please. Trying to keep track of time, but I'm okay. So and this is, there was a slight echo. Sorry about that. So this is the big one. This is where the juice is. This is where this is what you want to hear, which is our Microsoft Marketplace. And if you go to the next slide, I wanted to start it off by explaining to you why you should care about the marketplace. And all the data and you can see here supporting evidence. All the data, all the information, all the trend is showing that more and more sales transactions are going to essentially move via digital channels. We're already in that. You're already aware of other digital channels, but this is not something that's going to stop, or if anything, it's going to increase and relatively fast. So this is why you should care about Microsoft Marketplace, because this is our way of connecting you to clients that so that you can maybe meet their needs, of course, and be able to provide solutions for them. But I just thought this slide is really important because it's not just our feeling, it's not just our instinct, but you can see here from various reliable sources that it is a trend, it is a movement towards digital sales channels, and that's why Marketplace is something really important, and it's something we're really betting strong on from a Microsoft point of view as well, and we really see the benefit that our partnering ISVs can have when they publish their solution on it. Next slide, please, Anna. And I think this is a very, very, very important slide. And I might slow down here now and maybe even stop if there's, again, if you have any questions, please just interrupt or ask in the channel, but happy also to personally answer some questions if I can. So this is a really important slide and graph because the marketplace is, and this is remember, if you remember at the beginning, I mentioned that after the trophy, there's a few stairs there at the end, and that's the beginning of a whole other journey. This slide is related to that because after publishing on the marketplace, and we'll go into this a couple of ways that you can, there are more benefits, more rewards coming back to you after publication. But this is where there's a big but, because there's couple of different ways you can publish your solution on our marketplace. You can list it, so that generates awareness, right? It's essentially digital marketing on demand. You can have a trial publication where users can trial the product. You're gonna bring your own license, but I really want to focus on the last one, which is transact, because ultimately the biggest benefits you will get, the biggest traction you will find is if you publish a transactable app. To be very clear, that is when it's your solution is fully transactable. So as a user, I can purchase a solution directly on the Microsoft Marketplace. So it's fully, the whole funnel is fully transactable via the Microsoft Marketplace. And that's where all you see is exponential curve, where you see marketing, sales, and technical benefits increase. It really kicks in after transactable, publishing a transactable app. With the other three, it stops after some point because it's just a limited publication type. But with a transactable app, it unlocks, I won't say limitless, but close to limitless series of benefits that you can get. So from enabling sales, optimization, marketing support, and press release, you can be on our featured category placement on the marketplace. And of course, you can also receive Azure sponsorship for test driving, creating trials on Sandbox. But really, really important, though, to clarify and emphasize that it really is with a transactable app that the real benefits, the exponential benefits really kick in. And the more you engage, the more you start selling to clients who purchase your solution via the marketplace, the more you will get back in all these different ways of support. I just want to say here, if there's any questions on how, or more technical on how to publish a transactable app, please hold that for Levon. He can give you I've been in meetings with him. He will make it very simple, give you how much effort is needed. So I'm sure some of you are already thinking about that, but just making sure that please don't hold back those questions. Levon will be able to support those and answer those from a technical point of view on what's needed to do that. Next slide, please. So the marketplace, though, isn't it? So the marketplace is a sales channel, and there's a couple of ways you can access clients, right? Get that trophy. One is as I mentioned, the marketplace is in its own right a sales channel where we have around 4 million monthly active shoppers. However, again, I really want to emphasize it. This is not its greatest strength. Its greatest strength is as a distribution and procurement channel. But there are a lot of benefits that you need to know. For instance, this, of course, we have our 4 million monthly active shoppers on the marketplace. However, we also have further support where we have partner-to-partner sales teams working. So we have around 90,000 cloud solution providers selling and promoting solutions on marketplace. And of course, we have our own sales team. So around 15,000 field sellers also promoting purchasing of solutions via marketplace to our own SMB enterprise clients. But I think what's really important, maybe for you and usually for ISVs and startups, is really that bottom row where we do cover 141 markets, geographies within 17 currencies, and we manage tax of 52 within 52 countries. And here I want to say that once you publish a transactable app, the way it works is that if a client, you convert a client to purchase your solution via marketplace, there is an agency fee that we take, which is 3%. So you get to keep 97% of it, and we take 3%. But what do you get for that 3%? I think is really important, where we will manage the tax and the payment. So you don't have to, and this is why I think it's so important, especially for the markets we work in, that, you know, and I'll say a story that, a quick story if I can. I think I have enough time. Yes, I do. That there was a ISV who, when didn't want to publish a solution on their marketplace, Microsoft Marketplace. They have every right to, of course, but with their own sales effort, they managed to convert a Japanese bank. And some of you may work with Japanese banks. It's not that easy to pass, let's say, the validation and verification and vetting process. And they figured out that if they had just worked directly and sold the shit directly to the bank, it would have taken them, I think, around 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, to just take off all the verification and requirements that the banks needed. However, they realized that, of course, this bank is a partner of Microsoft. They use Microsoft tools. So by publishing their solution, which took, I think, a month or two on Microsoft Marketplace, they immediately started selling their solution to this Japanese bank within 2 months. So really, they saved a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of, let's say, money, right, to get all those verifications, because Microsoft Marketplace, we manage the tax. You don't have to worry about taxation from that perspective. You don't even have to worry about getting paid, because the moment a customer clicks buy the solution, you will get paid. And if for whatever reason the invoice doesn't work out, that's not your problem. That's our problem to figure out. So it really streamlines, makes the purchasing funnel from start to finish very smooth, very easy. And I think really this is the biggest strength that that the marketplace offers. Next slide.
Abel, maybe, I mean, I answered the question, but maybe it's interesting question, so you can elaborate a bit more, because Ruslan is asking, is in a way Microsoft becoming a dealer for the products once or a seller once, you know, the application is published in the marketplace? So maybe if you can
Good
just
question.
Closer to the audience.
Yes. No. Great question. Thanks for sharing. Yes, but after specific stage. So once you publish your solution, it's a distribution channel. If you think about it, I heard this example a little while ago, and I really liked it. It's like Netflix, right? You go and you still have to find your movie you like, right? It comes with recommendations, and we do that as well, right, for specific industries. And I'll touch upon that I think in the next slide. But to answer your question, Ruslan, at the beginning, no, but after specific level of traction that you generate within Microsoft Marketplace, then not only do we become a distribution channel, we also, as I said, suddenly have our own sellers promoting. Very simply put, we all know salespeople, they're very motivated by, let's say, commission mainly, not all, but mainly. So after specific level of traction, we have this solution called IP co-sell, where we co-sell your solution with you towards our own partners and clients, and our sellers get commission out of that, right, from us. So nothing impacting your bottom line. But my point is, they are motivated and to promote and sell your solution as well via this IP co-sell. But that is not immediately activated as soon as you publish a transactable app. There needs to be enough traction within Marketplace. It's a proof of it needs to be a proof of working that there is some traction, and after a specific level, this IP co-sell solution activates, and that's where our sellers start, and our cloud solution providers as well start promoting your solution to their own clients. I hope that answered the question. I didn't see the question, so maybe Anna, if I didn't, please let me know.
I hope so. I don't know, Ruslan, maybe you can unmute or ask the follow-up question in the chat if something remained unclear. He says thanks, so I guess it's clear.
Okay. This is what I wanted to say, because it's not just showing off all the partners that are on it, but the key point I wanted to bring from this slide and the value element of this slide is that you see here we have very different types of solutions, all the way from security to healthcare. And this is what I wanted to say, that Microsoft Marketplace isn't one platform. If you remember a slide earlier, we have multiple platforms dedicated for specific audiences. And I would like to emphasize our three main ones. One is the Microsoft Azure Marketplace. That is dedicated, the audience there, the type of clients who look at that, who shop via that marketplace, is much more technical, CTOs. So if you have a more technical solution, for instance, DevOps or IoT, we would recommend that you publish your solution on Azure Marketplace, because that is where the audience is, that is where your target clients are. However, if you have a more business-oriented solution, not so technical, that more general business buyer personas will be looking at, then we have the Microsoft App Source, and that's where you would publish a solution like that. And of course, if you have a Teams integration or a solution that aligns well with Teams, we have, of course, our Teams Marketplace as well. So this is, it's possible essentially to publish your solution where your target clients would also be congregating. So it's not just one big platform. We also have split it depending on the type of solution there is. And I just want to say that the previous slide with all the benefits that start coming after transactable app are all relevant, of course, via all of our marketplaces. So it's not just Azure Marketplace or App Source, it's both. So we're indiscriminate in terms of that. So I think that's what I wanted to say, that irrelevant of the type of company you are, you will be able to find your target audience via one of our marketplaces. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Anna, we reached the end. Yes, brilliant. Thank you very much. Спасибо большое. If there's any questions, please unmute. I'll also open the chat now. Yes, I'm open to answer any questions.
I have a question. Can you ask? So this is the marketplace for B2B or B2C customers?
Great point. B2B. It's for B2B SaaS solutions. B2B.
But it's actually an excellent question, because Abel shared with you a comprehensive view of, like the journey with Microsoft, I hope, starting from the Founders Hub, which is Microsoft program for startup. And let us know, knowing that like most of you are startups here, do we need to tackle a bit more about this program? Founders Hub for startups. It's available for both B2B and B2C solutions. I mean, if you are developing a B2B or B2C solution, you're welcome to join Founders Hub. But then ISV Success Program, which actually has the aim for you to publish the solution or application in the marketplace, it's actually for B2B ones. But all of you who are in B2C business, you're still very much welcome to join Founders Hub. And the application is quite easy, actually, through the LinkedIn page. I will post here the link for the application. But let us know if it was clear for you. Do you need to, because we have time, so do you need us to spend a bit more time on benefits, on anything else? And now we are having the questions in chat, so we will tackle those. Acceptance rates for Founders Hub, it's usually very high. We can share the eligibility criteria.
And I see from Agatai the answer regarding that, yeah, the double application and not receiving. If you can, yeah, give me the name of the business name you applied with, I can also take a look and see what and see if there's anything we can do there.
Yes, maybe let me just share this slide as well. So what might be a challenge sometimes? Okay, if the corporation team cannot actually verify from some reason your application or your startup, but also it can be if you have previously signed up for previous Microsoft programs. Maybe you have heard before for BSpark or other Microsoft for Startups program. If you were a beneficiary of some of those,
yes,
I'm afraid usually then you cannot, not usually, but then you cannot actually leverage Founders Hub again. Let me go to the selection criteria. Let me know if you see it. It's basically very simple. So I'm sorry now to hear that some have challenges, but as Abel said, I will post our addresses as well in the chat so you can reach us out. But this is the criteria. As you can see, it is very wide. You need to be engaged in the development of the software development or even services. It's okay if in this particular moment your solution is on-prem, and you need to have the business which intends to have profits, right? It's not NGO and governmental or education, and it's not related to crypto, and everything else is pretty wide. And as Abel actually explained in the beginning, I hope you remember the first slide, and we will share the slides later on. Basically, everybody are welcome from these early stages of ideation until, you know, Series C of funding, which I hope some of you will get. So it's very wide in that sense. Just send us what you had. Maybe also on OpenAI as a segue before Levon starts. I can see some challenges of getting the access. And
yeah,
Abel also
I just
this.
There's just one more thing I here, but back to the question. But I really want to clear the Founders Hub is not only B2B. So it's again, it's for startups, so B2B and B2C. So this is just a little key differentiation that I wanted to say, that the ISV, the marketplace, are B2B focused. Founders Hub is open to all startups.
But it's interesting, like exactly, and a great question that that somebody posted. Basically, through the founders, you have two, or let's say the one benefit which is related to the OpenAI services, which are exactly on the OpenAI platform, and this is the screenshot that one of the participants posted. So basically, through a startup program, once you are in the program, you have $2.5K or $2,500 of free credits that you can use for 6 months through OpenAI directly. If you have some challenges, we can see it goes directly through OpenAI, which, because you know, you can go and sign up for OpenAI through OpenAI as our partner, but independent company. On the other hand, you can get the Azure credits, which I will explain to a certain extent, even to $150,000, and you can actually use OpenAI services on Azure. Again, you need to apply for access, and that was the link that we were posting. And Levon will actually give you a couple of ideas how you can do and how you can leverage these services. But basically, there are two things just to make it clear. So 2.5K OpenAI directly, or you can use OpenAI services on Azure. Levon can share what is currently available. Of course, we welcome both ways. OpenAI on Azure gets you access to all the APIs along with, the uptime that Microsoft guarantees and, responsible AI platform as well, the security features. So it's up to you, but there are two ways. Okay, for any of the challenges that any of you experience, let us tackle it one by one. I will share mine and Abel's email, and then we can tackle it to see what have happened. Any question in this point on Founders Hub or ISV Success Program or Marketplace? On benefits, on criteria, anything?
Yeah, there's a question, is there difference of Azure credits in several levels of project? I'm just trying to translate. I mean, that's about the first slide of Abel, that we give different amount of money depending on level of maturity of your product.
Correct. Correct. But it's actually it's actually, yes, it's like this, but actually, depending on you're filling the form, we will post the link. Depending on your current startup, status, do you already have MVP? Are you backed up maybe by some VC, or probably you're backed up by Astana Hub, which is good? Where is your product, in which stage? Do you have demo? Are you having incorporation status, and so on? Based on everything that you fill in the form, Microsoft for Startups team puts you in one of those levels. So if you're in the beginning of your journey, you're going to get to the level 1. If you're already like a scale up, you are going to get to the level 4. But the good thing is that you can move within the program. So imagine that you just start in a level 1. You can be up to 4 years in the program. There are certain criteria how you can actually get. You can be 1 year in each of the levels, but then you can unlock the new level if you're using benefits. For instance, one of the main criteria to unlock the next one is actually to leverage 50% of the Azure benefit from the previous level. If you're already in a mature startup and you get into the level 4, you have 2 years to use this benefit. And I actually posted one link where you can see all those slides, like literally going into all the benefits by level. So you can take a deeper look. And what Abel mentioned in the beginning, not only that you would have Azure, you also have our productivity tools and our developer tools such as Visual Studio, GitHub Enterprise, as well as many other partner offers right there. The recent one being included is MongoDB, which I know many like, and Stripe payments, for instance, which also is usually very useful. And what Abel mentioned, one of the maybe best, that you can get technical support, review of your architecture from the level 2 onwards. Good. With that, if nothing else, I would stop sharing, and then we have this exciting part on OpenAI. Abel, I know he will stay with us for a few more minutes. If any other question, please post it in the chat.
Okay, if no specific question, I'll share my screen and start from there. Let me start. Do you see my presentation?
We do.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I'm Levon, Technology Strategist at Microsoft, covering Central Europe region. Person. And what we are going to speak today is AI services on Azure. Of course, I know nearly everyone interested in OpenAI more than latency cognitive services, but still, I'll start from overview of all Azure cognitive services, what we have to offer to you. Then majority of presentation will be about generative AI, OpenAI, and Azure OpenAI, particularly. I feel that many people like confuse OpenAI and Azure OpenAI. OpenAI is a different entity. It's not owned by Microsoft. So I'll put more clarity there. Then we'll speak a little bit about our Copilot stack. I'll prepare a very small demo about Azure Copilot, which is actually coding assistant. And we also speak about OpenAI potential use cases. I'll share even a few real use cases that our partners already do with OpenAI without saying name, of course. Again, put your questions to chat window. Russian, English doesn't matter. I'm fluent in Russian as well. And if you prefer me to switch to Russian somehow, just let me know. I'll do it for you. And just let's start. Azure AI is a set of services, actually. It's not one service. It's not one specific platform service. We have a set of services that includes application services, which means services integrated with applications like M365, Dynamics, etc. Application platform that helps you to build your application, actually, like Power BI, Power Apps, and others. Scenario-based services. Many of you know bot services, for example. From newer services, it's form recognizer that helps you to read and understand like receipts, CV, and this kind of stuff, any form-based solution. And also customizable AI models. AI models that help you to add your own data, to fine-tune it, to train it, and use in your services, like vision, speech, etc. And the most advanced part is ML platform. That's Azure Machine Learning platform with Azure Machine Learning Studio that helps you to build and program your own models if you need that. And now we have Azure OpenAI services. That's going to be our main point for today's conversation. As you can see, it's part of customizable AI models, which means we can tune it for our own needs. I'll speak about it a little bit later. If you go through history, I'm not going to go one by one, but we started from defining what is artificial intelligence. That's a field of computer science that helps to replicate or even exist human intelligence. Then we came to machine learning that helps actually algorithms to learn from existing data and apply this knowledge to new data. This is still widely used, like vision, text analysis, etc. Then deep learning that helps you to create layers of neural network based on your data set. And now the newest one is generative AI. We announced, not we actually, the scientific world announced it in 2021. And now we are very close to have it in general availability, in public availability. Generative AI creates new information from existing data. That's the difference between other points. I'll speak about it a little bit later. But let's start from our cognitive services. They are already in public, in general availability for many years. You can use it. I think many of you already use it. It has six points like vision, speech, language understanding, knowledge mining, search, and labs. By the way, you can use all your credit received from Founders Hub for these services. They are API-based services, mainly priced by amount of information and amount of API calls. Like, for example, for language, it will be how many times you applied for API, called API, and how much text you used for it. I'm not going to go one by one, of course, but just for you to understand, in Vision, it's, for example, video indexer, when you can extract information from video, like what shows there, or find a frame in video based on your needs. Speech that has text to speech, speech to text, translator, etc. Language understanding, sentiment understanding. We have very powerful searching tools like cognitive search, etc. I put a few real-world scenarios in our slides. When slides are shared with you, you can read what on slides or follow the links to learn more about it. I'm not going to stay here because we all want to go to generative AI. This is the new word, actually, new reality, I would even say. What is generative AI? The most specific stuff that generative AI creates content from previous data. It doesn't compare new data with old data, not just that, but it's able to create this data. Look, for example, if you use computer vision, we can learn, or deep learning doesn't matter. We can teach computer to understand, like, what is cat. And when we give a new picture of cat based on previous data set that happened to learn, they will understand that this one is cat. But for example, in here, you can see image generated by DALL-E, which is part of generative AI. I'll speak about it later, from a command class, cats playing chess. So obviously, we didn't gave him data set with cat playing chess. We just teach him what is cat, what is chess, what is playing, what is etc. And based on this information, it generates new content. That's the specification of generative AI. That's why we said it's revolutionary technology. OpenAI is a different entity. So it was a question during previous presentation, like we applied for OpenAI credit 2.5K. That's for OpenAI company credits. It's not Azure OpenAI, but we have deep relationship with OpenAI. We help them with computing resources. We help them with founding, etc., and have rights to put OpenAI models on Azure, where Azure OpenAI is born, I would say. In Azure OpenAI, currently we suggest the following services. It's GPT 3.5. I'll speak about it a little bit later, but I want to make it clear. GPT and ChatGPT are not the same. GPT is model. ChatGPT is product, maybe. I would say that way. I'll speak about it a little bit later, in more details. So we suggest GPT 3.5 and GPT 4, which is in limited preview. I mean, you can apply for access, but it's not available for everyone. Codex. If you use already Copilot, you know that, I mean, GitHub Copilot. There are several Copilots. It's a model service that understands and generates code. DALL-E, which has second version in preview, we are expecting it to be available soon, generates images from text prompts. And ChatGPT. ChatGPT is a service based on, obviously, GPT, but trained to make conversations. Like, this is specialized service for conversation, especially for conversation. In GPT-3, we have several types of models. You can see models goes from smallest one to highest one. Highest one in terms of parameters it has. DaVinci, if I'm not mistaken, has 170 something billion parameters. I don't remember the exact number, but that's absolutely big number. So when we speak about GPT-3, we have these four models, starting from Ada to DaVinci. A bigger model means more capability, but more inferencing time, obviously, and it's more expensive. So if you need like quick stuff, quick and cheap stuff, you will use Ada model. For more advanced scenarios, DaVinci model will be your choice. Actually, ChatGPT works mainly with DaVinci model, ChatGPT 3.5. Yeah. Token here is a special measurement unit. It's, how to say, it's part of, it shows amount of words that can model handle, considering previous conversations. Usually, if I'm not mistaken, one word is 0.75 tokens. Sorry, vice versa. One token is 0.75 word. Yeah. And Codex created based on these two models. Again, DaVinci Codex, which used in Copilot, GitHub Copilot, is more expensive but has more capabilities. What is ChatGPT actually? ChatGPT is based on GPT-3 model and GPT-4 as well. If you know, we have OpenAI has paid model, we can use GPT-4. With InstructGPT part, that helps out to fine-tune. What is fine-tuning? I'm going to speak a little bit later. That's a pretty important point. And also you have ChatGPT, smaller model that learns using reinforcement learning based on feedbacks. You see, we have like public GPT-3, which can be changed with your feedbacks. And you have your like smallest model, then learns based on what you say, like this conversation is okay, bad, etc. From technological point of view, ChatGPT based on GPT-3 family models from Ada to DaVinci, fine-tune models, and ChatGPT actually is an interface. So we go with all these stages to give you the answer using ChatGPT model. What is fine-tuning? So this is part when you can actually customize the model for your own needs. Fine-tuning, using fine-tuning in Azure OpenAI, you can apply your own data to make your own ChatGPT understand your documentation. For example, if you are a company who has rich text documentation, you can use fine-tuning to teach GPT model how to answer to your customer based on your documentation data. Using fine-tuning, we had actually this experience already. You can even use less capable models like Ada, for example, perform as well as DaVinci model, but being less expensive. Because again, DaVinci can speak about everything, of course. But when it's fine-tuned, for example, fine-tuned query can answer questions based on your documentation as well as DaVinci model. It decreases latency because it has more like narrow knowledge base and etc. Before we go to demo and more technical details, just a small comparison between OpenAI itself, Azure OpenAI service, and cognitive services for language like text analysis, sentiment analysis, etc. Azure OpenAI service doesn't need any more training, actually. It's out of box, unless you want to make it fine-tuned. In pricing perspective, it's priced per 1K tokens. Also, you are paying for training if you need fine-tuning there, and also for hosting. OpenAI doesn't charge you for hosting. It has pricing for tokens and training and inference, actually. We are speaking about commercial usage, of course, not usage by persons. Also, Azure OpenAI already fine-tuned for production, so it's actually production-ready service. Regarding cognitive services, it's much cheaper. It's more competitively priced, but has much less availability. Azure OpenAI has one big advantage as well. We support standard SLA for it. I don't remember the exact number, but it's something 99.95, if I'm not mistaken. It can be checked easily. It's integrated with Azure Active Directory, data security, and also we have responsible AI filter. I'm going to speak about it a little bit later. A few use cases, like real use cases. It's widely used in content generation. For example, in call centers, in support scenarios. We have Partner, I'm speaking about real scenario, that received a lot of feedbacks, a lot of support requests, a lot of complaints, etc. from end customers, and have very big team that read all the mails to understand what happened. Using OpenAI, they just clearly separate mails that has urgency, understand tone of a writer. For example, this customer is very angry, so it needs to get prioritized. This customer just say thank you, so it's not that important for now to read. This is urgent issue, this is not urgent issue, this is like future request, this is problem request, etc. Separate and decrease load of support team dramatically. That's pretty clear, I guess. Code generation. I'm going to speak code generation a little bit later, but this about GitHub Copilot that helps to generate code in many languages as well as SQL script based on human language, actually. Semantic search that's integrated with our search services and help to make cognitive search, actually. And also summarization, so you can ask questions about text. It's nearly the same. Yeah, by the way, it's also very good in business process automation. We have also used cases in business process automation. It can read, understand mail and help you to answer that mail. For example, I can receive question from end customer, automatically generate answer to that question based on documentation I have, based on public documentation, everything, because you know ChatGPT has very wide range of knowledge. And generate answer mail, even specifying tone of that mail, like very friendly or very polite or very formal, as much as I want. Actually, this process can be even fully automated, but I can say that we can't trust totally to ChatGPT answers to mails. We always need to be careful there, because you know ChatGPT was trained using public data, so it can have like biased responses. It can have like even racistic responses based on gender inequality, because you know it's public internet. You know it's not the clearest place. So our general recommendation: use ChatGPT for your business automation, but check what it generates always. In Microsoft, I'll speak about it. Next slide. We have responsible AI filter screen that helps to reduce this kind of problems. I can't say to zero. I'm not sure about that, but dramatically we can decrease this kind of unnecessary situations. We recently announced in build, I mean, it was a few weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken, Azure AI Studio. I'll show it, how it looks like, to make this fine tuning to help you create and publish your own models there. Let's go quickly by services. Like OpenAI DALL-E 2 helps to generate images based on text prompts. We also give API to make it programmatically. There is pretty new service that we offer, Nuva Infinity. It can not only generate images based on text, like this is generated by text, cloudy morning on the beach, etc., but also create video based on that image. I will try now to even show how it looks like. There is, how is it? Looks, that's not real video. That's created by the Nuva Infinity model, actually. The same here. That's pretty inspiring, because as you understand, to create this kind of video from image, the model should understand how real world works. That's the magic of generative AI. So it understands how sea moves, how light moves in that case, etc. Yeah, we spoke about potential use cases. I don't want to stack here. This is an example, just a screenshot from AI Studio. Look, we have a mail, and we ask Azure OpenAI to extract this information from this text. And it says that the reason of conversation is car accident, sentiment is okay, etc. So you can easily create a software that automatically read email and gave you information how fast you should answer, what is sentiment of writer, and so forth. Yeah, it's the same with JSON format. That's no need to stay here. Also, Azure OpenAI is pretty new service, but we already have quite a few big customers that use it. You can see we have here like Accenture, American Fidelity, and many other pretty famous words in business world. Let me show you how Azure OpenAI service looks like. I don't see the chat window. If you have questions at this point, I would like to stop and look into it.
Levon, maybe we can do the demo in Russian because I saw some, not all are super confident with English, so maybe it can be useful if you do it in Russian, if you don't
Yeah,
mind.
I can switch to Russian. Да, разумеется. Тогда я расширю свой экран полностью. Минутку. Do you see my screen?
We do.
Yeah. Да, это портал Azure. Многие, я думаю, здесь уже побывали. Просто добавляем Azure OpenAI. Если у вас все еще нет доступа к Azure OpenAI, вы получите просто сообщение о том, что надо этот доступ запросить. Запросить можно через тот линк, который мы поставили в чат window, а также вот в этом сообщении об ошибке будет линк, куда можно подаваться для GPT-3. Также можно подаваться на GPT-4, если у вас уже есть доступ к GPT-3. Но GPT-4 в очень ограниченном доступе, поэтому получить доступ будет довольно долго. Но вот GPT-3 мы даем доступ сравнительно легко. И создаем Azure OpenAI. Надо выбрать subscription, ресурсную группу, любую, регион. Пока еще сервисы доступны только в этих 4 регионах. Pricing tier у меня только есть 0. Насчет прайсинга можете посмотреть на странице Azure OpenAI Service Pricing. Как уже сказал, он зависит в основном от токенов. И, например, ADA значительно дешевле, чем DaVinci. Понятно почему. Потому что в DaVinci на несколько порядков больше параметров, он требует намного больше компьютерных ресурсов. Следовательно, пользоваться им можно получить лучший результат, более точный, назовем это так. Но это будет стоить дороже. Также для GPT-4 уже есть свой pricing tier, для DALL-E. Это сервис, который генерирует имидж, я только что показывал. И так далее. Можете сами познакомиться с прайсингом. Я сейчас выберу S0, который для меня доступен. И name. OpenAI. Тест. 1, 2, 3, 4. Это должно быть уникальным, глобально уникальным, потому что это станет практически доменом к вашему endpoint. Он не может повторяться. Насчет нетворка. Можно выбрать открытый, можно закрыть любой доступ, а можно добавить туда виртуальный нетворк. Я сейчас не буду создать, потому что он у меня уже есть. Я просто открою OpenAI демо, который я создал до нашей презентации. И открываем OpenAI Studio. Закроем, он уже нам не нужен. Ну, у меня уже есть открытый. Например, я хочу создавать свой собственный чат. Через OpenAI Studio я открыл чат-бэкграунд. У нас есть другие опции, конечно же, тоже. Как чат, так и картинки и так далее. Я могу добавить сюда мои собственные данные в различных форматах, даже как обычный текст. Это может быть документация моей компании, например. Что касается System Message, я практически сообщаю нашему чату, который будет создаваться, каком я хочу его видеть. Я могу написать Martin, you are a male and very aggressive. Он будет понимать, что я ожидаю от него такое поведение. Я могу добавить примеры ответа. Причем примеры ответа, это не как в чат-боте, абсолютно не так. То есть это не будет использовать мои примеры ответа в точности, как я написал. Просто будет понимать. Например, если я скажу вот на вопрос «Hey, how are you?» Отвечай «Go to the point I to spend time with you». Почему-то решил создать очень агрессивного человека. Continue. Я практически создал монстра, создал систему, которая будет себя вести так, как я ему рассказал. Например. Посмотрите, какой агрессивный ответ последовал. Это из-за вот этого. Ну, уже понятно. Разумеется, это все можно поменять, и таким вы его не создадите. Добавляя свои собственные данные, вы получите практически бота, если можно вообще это назвать ботом, который будет себя вести вот так, при этом будет знать ваши данные, вашу документацию, ваши данные, это понятно. И созданную модель можно с легкостью deploy to web application или update existing web application. То есть можно создать практически web application, ну, endpoint, с этими параметрами. Ну, pricing tier и все остальное, это понятно. Сейчас это вне нашей сегодняшней темы. Это и есть практически fine-tunes. Как только получите доступ к OpenAI, OpenAI Studio тоже будет для вас доступен. Пойдем немножко дальше. Copilot Stack. Я закончу, потом, наверное, по вопросам уже будем смотреть более детально, если кому-то что-то будет интересно. Существует целое семейство, на самом деле, копайлотов. Скоро будет анонсированы копайлоты для офисных программ, для Word, Excel и так далее. Уже есть Copilot для Dynamics, уже есть Copilot для Microsoft Viva. Но мы сегодня, так как все-таки девелоперы, поговорим о Codex моделях. Codex – это один из моделей GPT, который специализируется на программировании. Что умеет Codex? Превращать язык в код, натуральный язык, человеческий язык, либо в SQL. Наоборот, может код превратить в человеческий язык. Это означает, что может просто объяснить код. Объясни мне, пожалуйста, вот этот код, что здесь происходит, что означает эта строка и так далее. Он на все это будет отвечать. Я сейчас сделаю небольшое демо. Может документировать ваш код. Может создавать, здесь не написано, я пробовал, это очень хорошо работает. Может создавать юнит-тесты на основе вашего кода, если у вас код это позволяет, конечно же, делать. И очень хорошо также занимается рефакторингом. Упрощает код, убирает лишние места, выявляет потенциальные эксепшены, потенциальные ошибки и так далее. На основе кодекса создан GitHub Copilot. Он так и называется Copilot в том смысле, что использует принцип pair programmer. Это один из принципов программирования в экстремальном программировании. Наверное, многие об этом слышали. Важно понимать, что кодекс, OpenAI кодекс, то есть, извиняюсь, Copilot сервис, научен на кодах, которые были в открытых репозиториях в GitHub. То есть тут используется OpenAI Codex Model, чтобы понимать наш язык, наш запрос, а также используется информация в GitHub, чтобы научиться программированию, грубо говоря. В результате получилась система, которая понимает человеческий язык и умеет писать код на основе этого языка. Давайте сделаем небольшое реальное демо. Я вот создал просто консольное приложение на языке C#, только потому что я этим языком владею, потому что он поддерживает очень много языков. И ничего не сделал. Я хочу все сделать с нуля вместе с вами, чтобы просто увидели, как это работает. У меня тут установлен Ask Copilot Extension, к которому доступ вы тоже можете получить. Надо просто запросить в GitHub. Я получил где-то через неделю. Я запрашивал из своего личного аккаунта, то есть получил как сотрудник Microsoft, а как просто пользователь. Вы тоже можете получить этот Copilot. И теперь я просто говорю send request to microsoft.com and count up 10 times and count average response time. Вот посмотрим, какой код он сгенерирует. Разумеется, во время демонстрации должна быть ошибка. Сейчас еще раз попробуем. Кстати, мой экран видели или только презентация?
Виден экран, исходный код.
Да. Да. Угу. Конечно же. Прямо сейчас должна была быть ошибка. Я сейчас просто открою новый инстанс Visual Studio. Такое бывает. Потому что это private preview, то есть еще не реальный сервис, а просто превью. Сейчас посмотрим, с нами ли Copilot. И что-то сломалось. Да, работает. То есть я могу то же самое еще раз попросить. Ну, типа, сгенерировал код. Насколько он правильный, мы сейчас посмотрим. Я просто вот это сейчас отсюда возьму, поставлю сюда и вместе посмотрим. Он использует stopwatch, использует HTTP клиент, отправляет запрос, считает среднее время. То есть практически все, что мы запросили, он делает. Для рефакторинга я могу просто вот этот код взять и сказать replace var with strong types. Например, я не хочу видеть var. Ну, видите, var уже изменился на реальные вещи. То есть вот практически мою команду превратил в код, и очень неплохой код. Я могу продолжать, например, сказать, преврати этот код в асинхронный код, добавь возможность логирования, проверку ошибок. Все это будет сделано. Я просто сейчас не хочу, чтобы вам было скучно все это в реальном времени смотреть. Кроме этого, он может документировать код, он может понимать код, пока я его пишу. Например, я просто сейчас создам класс person. Считает, что мне нужен ID, наверное, потому что это entity, name, description. Видите, автоматически все идет. Я могу создать list, string, portions. И вероятнее всего он поймет, что я хочу, смотрите, в этот лист добавить название океанов глобальных. Ну, их всего в 5. В реальном программировании это очень-очень-очень сильно помогает. Особенно если, например, не помните, как, не знаю, в контроллере получить объект сессии. Можно просто написать return object of session. И это получается. Я смогу со своего опыта сказать, я уже программист довольно долгое время, это очень сильно увеличивает производительность тоже. Это все благодаря Generative AI. То есть раньше был только IntelliSense, который позволял находить информацию из документации. Сейчас вот Generative AI, который генерирует результаты. Пойдем дальше. Последняя часть. Мы говорили о fine-tuning, о том, что вы можете ваши данные использовать для обучения Generative AI и так далее. Разумеется, возникает вопрос, а что с этими данными будет? То есть будут ли они использоваться в публичном доступе и так далее. Мы не могу сказать про OpenAI, это другая компания, могу сказать про Azure OpenAI. Мы гарантируем, что ваши данные – это ваши данные. Они никак не используются, not used, никак не используются для тренировки основных AI-моделей. То есть вы загрузили ваши данные в Azure Blob, в Azure Storage, они принадлежат только вам. Вы можете их encrypt, хранить ключ у себя. Вы можете их удалять в любое время. То есть мы, как Microsoft, никак не используем ваши данные для тренировки наших моделей в Azure OpenAI, и весь контроль над вашими данными принадлежит только вам. Это важный момент. Мы также гарантируем использование так называемого Responsible AI Principles. Между информацией, которая генерируется Azure OpenAI, в частности, например, ChatGPT, Azure ChatGPT, и конечным пользователем стоит экран, который проверяет ответ. Нет ли там расизма, нет ли там неравенства, ничего неприемлемого в этом тексте нет. Ну, я об этом уже сказал. Идет фильтрация каждый раз. Поэтому при использовании Azure OpenAI ChatGPT 100% гарантии, к сожалению, мы дать не можем, потому что, опять, Generative AI, в чем специфика Generative AI? Он генерирует данные, генерирует текст. И в этой генерации могут быть любые данные. Но мы стараемся минимизировать и в идеале довести до нуля возможные конфузы с этим связанные. Ну, я об этом уже сказал, что все ваши данные хранятся на вашей подписке и могут удаляться вами в любой момент, когда будет необходимо. Я также добавил некоторые данные, где можно научиться использованию ChatGPT. Вы уже имеете линк, как можно запросить доступ к ChatGPT. Если вы являетесь частью Founders Hub, запросили и не получили доступ, вы можете написать нам. Мы посмотрим, в чем причина. Потому что для стартапов из Founders Hub, как правило, довольно нетрудно получить доступ к GPT-3. GPT-4 пока еще обещать, к сожалению, не можем. Я, наверное, здесь остановлюсь и посмотрю, какие у нас есть вопросы. Я не вижу вопросов, да? Тогда, может, голосом?
Did anybody start to play with OpenAI or ChatGPT? Did anybody, already had an experience with this? Or you have a question for chatbot?
Да, можешь заново показать, как запустить чат-бот на Azure. Ага. Да, конечно, сейчас. Я опять открою. После того, как был создан OpenAI демо, то есть OpenAI ресурс, я нажимаю просто Deploy. Открывается Azure OpenAI студия. Открывается немного долго, но подождем. После того, как мы нажмем Create New Deployment, даем имя деплойменту. На данном этапе доступен только GPT 3.5, потому что у меня нету доступа к GPT 4. Надеюсь, скоро он будет у всех. Это capacity. TPM означает tokens per minute. Сколько токенов я могу за 1 минуту получить, то есть использовать. Открываю чат. Я, к сожалению, просто не успел подготовить тестовые данные, а то можно было показать. Но очень просто говоря, вы можете от data source добавить свою, как upload files из Blob Storage, это Azure Storage. ChatGPT будет как человек, в буквальном смысле, читать эту документацию и учиться на основе его. На System Message вы уже создаете свой ассистент. Может дать ему имя, пол, характер, все что угодно. Добавить примеры. И опять я хочу это особо подчеркнуть. Эти примеры не для того, чтобы он отвечал точно так же. Это примеры для того, чтобы ChatGPT понимал, какой ответ вы ожидаете. И можно это использовать в вашем коде. После того, как вы это все создали, генерируется даже код на языке, который вам нужен. Кстати, .NET Library тоже пока еще в превью, в бета-превью, поэтому использовать его пока еще, наверное, не стоит. Правильный вопрос. Как делать, чтобы чат-бот запомнил предыдущие ответы? Он будет запоминать до того, как лимит токена заполнится. То есть вот мы говорили, что DaVinci имеет 4096 токенов. Это его лимит. После этого он просто не будет в состоянии запоминать предыдущие разговоры. В коде он не запоминает, это правда. В коде он не запоминает. Но в обычных разговорах, как ChatGPT, он запоминает до определенного количества текста. 4000 токенов – это практически 3500, ну, почти 4000 слов. То есть разговор получится неплохой. Он это все будет запоминать. Короткий ответ, не надо ничего делать. Из out of box он запоминает от предыдущие ответы. Если других вопросов нет, с моей стороны пока что столько. Anna, should we give words to you? Looks like we don't have more questions here.
No, then with that, if anybody doesn't have any more question, I guess we are done. Please do let us know if any other back on the. Oh, we have somebody opening the camera. Thank you for that. Anything you wanted to ask?
No, actually, I asked my questions. Thank you very much for the presentations.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you. We will share
our presentations.
Correct. Even recording. I think you have the link for application for Founders Hub. I can share with. I mean, there is in the deck for the ISV Success Program. We saw a couple of you had the challenges with the applications. You can reach Abel or me to check what have happened. So yeah, with that, we keep in touch. If any other question pops up later on, you can find us on LinkedIn as we shared, or email. And yeah, I guess you are closer to the weekend that we are, although somebody in the beginning told me that when you're running a startup, there is no such a thing as a weekend. I do hope you will have some rest. Yeah, thank you for spending the Friday afternoon with us. We really appreciate it. And thanks again, Tanat and all the Astana Hub colleagues for having us. We really appreciate it. Good. Hitting the stop of the recording, and I guess announce the end of the presentation. Take care all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.